Genshin Impact has finally made it to the Xbox cloud gaming platform. Dive into the fantastic world of heroes and magical beasts as you discover the mysteries of Teyvat. You can play right now with a Game Pass Ultimate subscription and almost any device because, as we now know, everything is an Xbox. We'll be covering gameplay on the Xbox Series S console, on PC with the Google Chrome web browser and desktop app, on mobile devices with the iPhone and iPad, and on TVs with the Amazon Fire Stick and Samsung Gaming Hub. This falls very much in line with Xbox's newest campaign, This is an Xbox, which aims to give you the power and access to play on any device. Starting on the Xbox Series S console, launching the game is very easy. It's as simple as scrolling to Game Pass from your dashboard, searching Genshin Impact, and pressing play. As many of you may already know, Xbox most recently announced Play Your Own Games, which we are all more than excited for, but not every game is available as of now. Now, before we get into any actual gameplay, there's two things we need to do. First, in order to track our stats, we need to activate the Xbox Preview feature. To do so, select your profile icon in the top right of the Game Pass dashboard, then turn the preview features on. From here, select Streaming and turn on the Stream Statistics overlay. We'll now be able to track our FPS, ping, and other essential stats. I'm also sure that many of you have already started playing Genshin Impact on other platforms. Now that you're playing on Xbox, you're going to want to link your Hoyoverse account so you can continue where you left off. I cannot stress more than for you to take your time when you first start doing this. Don't start immediately to skip through the beginning prompts because you have only one shot at linking your accounts at the moment. Make sure to select Already Have an Account, log in directly. Then under Link Hoyoverse Account, you have the option to link with a QR code or email. To link via email, you'll enter the email tied to the Genshin account you wish to use, and then enter the verification code sent to that account. If all is done correctly, you'll receive a notification on screen that says your account has been successfully linked. From this point, you're good to play as normal and enter the game. Now, as far as actually playing on the Xbox console, Genshin Impact played very well. I didn't experience any latency or rendering issues, and the smoothness of the gameplay reminded me of the same overall experience I've gotten on previous platforms. Now, this is Xbox, so we don't have any extensive graphics or performance menus, and we are currently unable to activate the Xbox Previews feature on console. But we do know that Xbox Cloud Gaming streams at a max resolution of 1080p 60fps. Genshin Impact also isn't an overly demanding game. The most you'll see is latency during moments of heavy animation or tons of movement. But as long as you have a strong internet connection and bandwidth, you won't have much issue. Moving on to PC, I first played on the Chrome web browser. Launching the game has the same ease of play as with the Xbox Series S, with a few extra steps when it comes to logging in. A big plus with playing on PC is that we're able to see our stats using Xbox Preview, and we can see that we're streaming well around 60fps. Our ping is pretty good at 30 milliseconds. You really want to be around the 20 to 25 range for the best experience. Now, since we're playing on PC, many of you may be wondering if mouse and keyboard support is available. As of the time of this video, it is not, but it may come in the future as mouse and keyboard support was officially announced earlier this year for Xbox insiders. Gameplay was very similar to the Xbox Series S, very smooth with no issues, input lag, or latency. Transitioning to the PC app, launching the game is nearly identical to the web browser, and the gameplay experience was very similar. Unfortunately, Xbox Preview does not carry over into the PC app, so we weren't able to track our stream. Now, to be transparent, there were some instances where the desktop app did have some rendering distortions, but this didn't affect my gameplay in the slightest. Now, if these issues affect your ability to play, I'd opt for the web browser since this never happened in Chrome. Onto our mobile devices, I played on my iPhone 14 using the Backbone controller. Backbone does have Android compatible controllers available for select phones, and the Razer Keyshoe is another viable option. The Backbone works great because it keeps my entire gaming experience in one compact place, but you can play with a Bluetooth Xbox controller if you want. Playing on iPhone is very much like playing on a classic handheld, but if you haven't played on these systems in a while like I have, it can be a bit awkward at first. I am able to activate the preview stats and we're running around 60fps. Our ping is just about where we want it, around 25 to 30 milliseconds. And while it is good to see that we're able to activate Xbox Preview, it does block most of the in-game menu buttons, so it isn't the most comfortable to have while playing. One special note I'd like to add is that when playing mobily, controllers aren't always the default mode of navigating through menus. When I was playing, Genshin would default using the touchscreen controller, which is literally impossible to play with. So to change this, locate the Paimon-shaped menu button in the top left corner. This can take a bit of maneuvering since the game bar is within the same reach of the button, but once you get inside the settings menu and change your controller type to controller, Genshin will automatically switch over. Once I was able to properly play the game, Genshin ran very well. I did experience some minor latency while playing, and this is mainly due to the fact that I'm now playing over a Wi-Fi connection instead of a direct Ethernet connection like on PC or console. This is again why I highly recommend a strong internet connection, at least 5 GHz with at least 20 megabits per second on download speed. This will become especially important for the other mobile and TV devices. I played on my iPad mini and my experience was very similar to playing on iPhone, however there are some extra steps to get started. In order to start playing, you do have to set up the Xbox Cloud Gaming app on your iOS device, and this also goes for iPhone users. We already made a video with step-by-step instructions on how to set it up on your device, so check it out when you have a chance. And just like with iPhone, I maintained 60 FPS during the stream, though my ping was a tad bit higher. Unlike playing on the iPhone, which is more like a handheld, playing on the iPad is more similar to a traditional setup. I use a wireless Xbox controller, and the iPad is a lot like a small TV or monitor, so it felt more comfortable. I didn't experience any latency issues like I did with the iPhone, and I was still playing over a Wi-Fi connection. Now, why were these experiences a bit different? Like anything in gaming, nothing's perfect, and you will have a bad session from here and there, but maintaining a strong internet connection helps a ton. Playing on televisions, launching Genshin Impact is much like the other platforms. On the Amazon Fire TV, we are able to get our stats and are running very close to 60 frames. Our ping is a bit higher than we'd like, bouncing around between 35 to 50 megabits per second. This higher ping didn't seem to affect the overall gameplay, and my stream remained relatively smooth throughout the session. With that being said, I believe that the Fire TV is a more than viable option to play Genshin Impact. We were super excited when the Samsung Gaming Hub was released back in 2022, and now we are able to get some quality footage of how well games play through the device. Now when I first started, I did experience some subtle latency while playing, but this seemed to correct itself as I continued to play. And like with Amazon Fire TV, we maintained 60 FPS with a similar ping of around 35 to 40 milliseconds. Once I got into combat, everything moved seamlessly and I didn't experience any further issues, even during high movement instances. And this was all through a Wi-Fi connection, and I know if I were to connect through Ethernet, my session would be that much better. And overall, with how convenient and easy it is to use these television apps being preloaded on the TVs, I can see the popularity of this means of play rising for sure in the near future. Genshin Impact on Xbox across a wide array of devices was an overall success. Each device did have its quirks, but I think we're starting to notice a pattern. Xbox wants to give the exact same experience no matter the device. Honestly, throughout the making of this review, there wasn't much new to add as we switched from device to device. This has to mean that Xbox is prioritizing consistency in the same user experience no matter the device a player decides to use. This is a really great spot for Xbox to be in because now the next big tasks are adding more games to the platforms and most importantly new upgrades for their systems. As games continue to get more demanding, we'd all love to see higher resolutions across the platform and a major boost in overall performance. As for players, again, we highly recommend at least a 5 GHz Wi-Fi connection and a minimum download speed of 20 megabits per second. Let us know your experience with Genshin Impact in the comments down below. Also, be on the lookout for a full review of the Samsung Gaming Hub. If you enjoyed this review of Genshin Impact on Xbox, leave us a like, and join the growing community through our Discord, Patreon, and channel membership. Above all else, stay locked in the only place where you can do battle in gaming heaven, Cloud Gaming Battle.